me see. And here we are, back to the Eddie Mata Show with a special guest. I love her. She's a diehard Yankee fan. When I say diehard, I mean diehard. All right, we go way back. She visited me at the MLB Fan Cave. We had a lot of fun. And I want to introduce you to her. Her name is Beth Cocca. She is a member of the Pinstripe Mania. She kind of, is like the force of it. Like she's the Don of it. Am I correct, Beth?
I guess that is correct. I have a team of administrators behind me, but yes, it is my club. I consider it my club, and with the administrators' help, that we keep it running like a well-oiled machine. I like to say, but it's so nice to see you, Eddie. A lot of fond memories. I remember very well the first day I ever met you back in the days when you were representing our beloved Yankees in that MLB I almost said bat cave, fan cave.
You can say
And
back
I
cave,
remember
same
how
thing.
gracious,
Go ahead.
same thing, right?
Right.
You were so gracious and friendly, and you took time out of your day, gave a personal tour. I got to meet a lot of the other members in the fan cave. It was really cool, and you had a great setup. So you had it made in there, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It was a lot of fun, and you know what? And it's great to see people from out of town because I just want to let you guys know Beth is from New York, but she lives in, check this out, Wichita, Kansas. Now, I don't know what you're doing there. Maybe you're on the Eyewitness Protection Program. I don't know. But what is the odds of a New Yorker living in Wichita? Please tell me that.
Well, we've been here several years. My husband is an executive with the big thing here in Wichita. Most people don't realize we are the air capital of the world. So he works for the biggest employer here in Kansas, Spirit President here, and that's what brought us here. So nice place to live. It's a well kept secret, that's for sure. But I'm sure to get home to New York many times during the year. Not so much during this time of this pandemic time, unfortunately. It's just crazy what's going on out there. But normally I would be home several times, and especially to get back to see our Yankees. So,
What?
but that's what brought us here.
Well, you kind of froze right now. I still see you, but I can hear your audio, which is fine.
Hmm.
Can you still hear me?
Oh, I can hear you and see you.
Okay. The thing is, you're frozen right now, but we'll see. It'll come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But my
yeah,
question to you, Beth, is that he moved. You guys moved to Kansas because of the job. His job. Is that what you're telling me?
yes, yep.
Okay.
That's what brought us.
Okay. Now you're
So,
back. Good. Now you're back. Your video's back. Okay.
yeah.
So, but what year was that when you left New York?
Oh God, probably it was right before 9/11, and actually, because we still had two kids still living in New York. In fact, one was going to college at CW Post on Long Island. So I remember that day very well. And my husband had just started. I remember the call to the house. I was actually still sleeping, the lazy one I was. And I remember he said, "Quick, get up, turn the TV on. Something's going on." And we all know the rest of the story, but. So that's how I kind of remember that's when we first moved to the Midwest. But it's been a while. But like I said, all of our family is still back. My husband and I are both from New York. We were actually born in the same hospital, so it's a small world for sure. But we get home, my mom, my sisters, my brother. He's a retired New York State trooper. They're all back there still. But we did talk two of our kids to come here. So one is still back in Long Island, East Patchogue. But you know, it's like I said, it's a well kept secret, and I've been trying to get it out. It is a nice place to live, but you'd be surprised. This is a big Yankee area. Well, I don't want to be mean, but those Royals fans are pretty much bandwagon fans. I remember going to many games at Kauffman Stadium to see the Yankees, and it would be mostly Yankee fans. Then suddenly they start winning a few games, and all of a sudden, oh, the Royals, we love our Royals.
All right.
So it's not like the Yankees, diehard Yankees. We'll be there no matter what, still rooting for our team. So that's the difference here between Yankee fans and other teams, with the exception of maybe St. Louis, for instance, the Dodger fans. They're diehards too, but not here in Kansas City. I really don't have a lot of respect for Kansas City fans.
But
So,
so you got a good program there. How close are you to Wichita State, the college there?
oh, very close, very close. Uh, that because they don't have professional teams here,
Hmm.
this community, and there's about 500,000 people, I think, live in Wichita. It's pretty big uh, by Kansas standards. It's the biggest city in Kansas. So the community gets behind Wichita State big time. So the Shockers,
Yeah.
they are on a
They
pedestal here,
they
and
actually
it's cool to go to a game,
okay. So
huh?
they actually have a great baseball program, that college.
Mm-hmm.
By
Yep,
the way, you got
and a
some
beautiful
fans
city.
here. Yeah, you got some fans here. You got Jeanne Stewart. Hi, Beth. We have Milagros Medina. She's saying hi. So you see that, Beth? They love you more than me.
Well, Millie is actually my co-partner in crime as far as top administrator in the clubhouse, and Millie is actually lives in Puerto Rico. She's from New York, but she lives in Puerto Rico now. So you got now you're in Puerto Rico now, Eddie. They're showing you in Puerto Rico.
Oh, thank you, thank you. Como estás? That means hi, right? How do you say? How do you say thank you again in Spanish?
I could check. I'm homeschooling my grandson, Gage, here because of this pandemic, but I have a Spanish book. You want me to look it up for you?
No, no, don't worry about it. Okay, you froze. You froze again, but just stay with me because I think it's gonna come back. As long as I hear your audio.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm still here.
Okay. So now, Beth, tell me about this group. I mean, I follow you guys. I joined your group way back, and you guys are literally like diehard Yankee fans. I mean, you guys have roll calls before the game starts. Talk to me about that.
Okay, we've been doing this now for over 8 years. Every game, about 15 minutes before the start of the game, we post what we call a roll call, where our members come in and we acknowledge that they're in the roll call. And what we do is we actually call every play inside the roll call. We have an assigned roll call captain, we have a scoreboard keeper, we have a person who does the play by play. We don't call balls and strikes, but we actually call every play of the game and stick with it to the very end. And I remember we've had some pretty long roll calls with some of those long games. I'll never forget the London series, for instance. It was crazy, and the same people stick with it as far as the assignments. And we do a full schedule. It's like I said, we're a well-oiled machine. We have assignments for every administrator. But getting back to the roll call, and there's no every night you don't know who's going to be coming into the roll call, and it's like the camaraderie because we're all in there rooting for our beloved Yankees, and we get behind it just like we're at the stadium watching the game. Because the one thing you have to remember is that Yankee fans are all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yankee fans are all over this country, but we don't have the luxury of being in New York and getting that ticket to get to that game. Or a lot of the Yankee games are not televised in so many areas because the home teams are usually televised. So, beloved Yankee fans, they're so thirsty to find out what's going on in the game. So that's why we do it. We do it for our members. So people like Millie, for instance, in Puerto Rico, so she can follow the game, and we're cheering like crazy. So when the Yankees get a hit or a double, we're like posting all sorts of crazy things just to we have a head cheerleader, Patty Quintana, in our group. She just goes nuts with some of the postings, and it's just so much fun. So, and we've been doing this now, like I said, since we started, and we haven't missed one, and we hope to never miss one. So
Beth,
that's
a fan like me, I appreciate people like you because community is huge, and this is a positive community. You got everybody involved from all over the United States, including Puerto Rico and wherever. But it's awesome because there's nothing better when you're part of a community and you're looking forward for that 7 p.m. every night, and except on the weekends, 1 o'clock game, whatever the schedule is, to see that, hey, you know what? We're all in this together. We're having fun. I love this. That makes me feel good because it's a positive community. That's what I love about it. You're not like the crazy guy from Waco, Texas. What's his name? You remember that story? Not a Yankee fan, but he was like a cult and stuff like that. Like people thought he was God.
Oh, right,
Yeah,
right.
so
The ones that drank the cyanide, those guys you
the,
talking about?
yeah, with the crazy guys, happened in the early '90s. I had to blow up his home.
Okay. I know what you mean
Yeah,
now. The fire, right? I understand what you mean. Yeah, they had a series about that actually. But yeah, so what sets our club apart, though, Eddie, is that we are truly, when you say community, we're also a family.
right,
We really stress family in our group. And it's easy to say we don't allow swearing. It's more than that.
right.
We acknowledge birthdays, anniversaries, accomplishments, graduations, weddings, birth announcements. We try to make everyone in our club feel like they are a wanted member of our club. So we stress, we want them to post. Our administrators that are always going through the page, just making sure, making sure there's no drama in the club. We don't like drama. We just want everyone to get along. And for some reason, it seems to work in our club. Everyone gets along and we just seem to love each other. And so many of us have met, and I'll be talking with you about Maniac Day. That is a big thing with our club, but we do so many things other than just the games. So
Yeah, I noticed that, and every time I go through the Facebook and I see you guys posting and roll call, I'm like, man, this community doesn't mess around. They're into it. I thought I was a diehard. I'm like, I think these guys beat me out on that one.
right. Well, right now it's hard. We're trying to post as much Yankee news as and all the clubs do the Yankee news, but try to do fun things too, like at Christmas time. When there isn't anything really going on in the Yankee the world, we actually do Secret Santa. Last year we had 230 people in our club participate all over the country and some from out of the country with our Secret Santa. It was a Yankees themed Secret Santa. So you draw, everyone tells me they want to participate. They send me their name, their phone number, their address, and I pull names and I assign people who they're going to be Secret Santa to. They send a Yankee themed gift under a certain amount to that person. And then at the end of the Secret Santa, we divulge who was each other's Secret Santa. But the fun part is everyone posts what they get, and everybody's go, oh, that's so cool. I wish I thought of that. And we do things like that. That's just an example. Now with the pandemic going on, everyone is so thirsty for just something to do Yankee related. So it's been hard, but we try to make fun things. We take things off of the Yankee page. I get the coloring page for the Yankees and post it so the kids can print it out and color it. I started a story time in our club where every night I read excerpts out of Yankee related books.
You know what's funny? I love that, Beth, because you're like a typical mommy. You got you got your books and you're like reading. It's like you got like kids in front of you sleep, like trying to go to bed, but you tell them a bedtime story. It looks so cute. I saw that the other day. I was like, oh my god, that's too adorable.
Well, I think people are so bored with this. There's, quarantined in their house. They can't go out, and there's only so much television you can watch or movies or things like that. And just trying to mix it up. But the idea is we're also, a lot of our maniacs and population in New York, all over the country, they're hurting. Two of my kids alone, they have small businesses. They had to close down, not considered essential. So I don't allow ads, but now I do, just for now. To people
Right.
promote their businesses. Just trying to promote, like, some of these books I've been reading are some of books written by maniacs.
Right.
Steve Melia, I think you're familiar with him. In fact, that would be he would be a terrific person for you to interview in another show. He did the 162 games in 1 year back in, I think it was 2011, when he went to every single Yankee game. It was pretty awesome. So he had a book, and then Billy Pepitone, who's the nephew of my very favorite Yankee of all time, Joe Pepitone, and it's a terrific book. Um, uh, that's someone I always wanted to meet, was Joe Pepitone. There was something about growing up. It was just something about his style of play. I always loved it. So,
And you know what?
but anyways,
I noticed the Yankees recognized you too you know, on the jumbotron you were on. They interviewed you, right, about you were in Yankee magazines. Like, for instance, here, look at you right there, Yankee Stadium, getting interviewed by the Yankees right there. All right, and then let's see, what else did you have? You had right here. There you go. Now, who's that? Is that Lee Mazzilli's daughter? Is that her?
I think so.
I think that is
wasn't
her.
sure.
Yeah, I
I
think
was
that.
kind of caught up in the moment. I had my 5 minutes of fame. It was actually pretty fun. They made me feel very special because they had me come, and I was already coming that day in May with my grandson. We take an annual road trip to New York. He lives here in Kansas, and I of course have to introduce him to the Yankees. So it was a special day, and they knew I was coming because I had purchased the tickets directly to the Yankees. So they contacted me. They said, "Hey, are you definitely coming this day?" And I said, "Yes." So they said, "Could you come an hour and a half before the game?" And I said, "Sure." So we were in our seats, and my brother, who's like I mentioned earlier, is a retired New York State trooper, and my nephew, they came down, and I felt they made me feel so special. They must have brought an entourage of about 8, 9 Yankee reps, including my own Yankee rep, and I'll give him a shout out, Joe Stevens. He's terrific. And took about a ton of pictures. They had a videographer. They set us up for interview, and I was shocked when they had me up on the jumbotron for 3 full minutes. And I do have a video of it, and I'm sorry, I apologize. It is in our Yankees club, but I forgot to give it to you,
Right.
to get it to you.
But Beth,
But it was
was it
great.
like? What was it like when literally, you have Yankee players, all players, now batting Aaron Judge. There's a jumbotron picture of him. Now it's your turn, and you're on the jumbotron where they put up, big names, right? You're like, oh my god, I can't believe this is me, right?
Well, it was not just me. It was me representing our club.
Right, right.
It was a chance for me to get the word out more about our club. And because in July, 2 months after that, it was going to be our annual trip to New York that so many maniacs make from all over the country for our annual Maniac Day weekend, where we have over this year, I think is our 8th or 9th year that we're going to have it. Well, praying we have it in July. I'm so glad it's in July if we do have it. And we just make a great weekend, and we have so much fun with it. But we go to the Audi Lounge, and we have gourmet food, and we're field level seats, and it's such a great chance to meet actual maniacs that you've been chatting with for years online, and then to finally actually meet them face to face and just have such a great time with them. Then we have a big after party. It's lots of fun. We give literally a couple $1,000s worth of door prizes away. All, again, everything Yankees. Everything is a Yankee prize. And my husband is a pretty generous guy. So thanks, Jim.
Thank you,
But
Jim. I appreciate that.
So Eddie, as long as I got you online, if you're in New York, I want to invite you to be our special what I want to say, guest, along with, we always have Squeegee, Louis Castillo, familiar with him?
Mm-hmm.
Familiar with him? He is the famous Bat Boy.
Yeah.
He has come the last 2 years, and he'll be coming again this year. But I would love to throw you a ticket. It's a great time,
But you
fantastic
know what?
food.
How about this?
Again,
Save the ticket, give it to
mm-hmm.
someone else. I'll get in on my own. So I want you to give it to someone else, but I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
Don't waste a ticket on me. Don't worry about it. I'm fully connected there.
Okay. Well, also with the food too, though. We're up in the Audi Lounge before the game, so we have a
Don't
great
worry about that.
gourmet.
I'll get
Have
it.
you ever done that? That's pretty good, by the way.
Huh?
I have to say, for Stadia, have you ever done the Audi Lounge? The food there is really good.
Yeah, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's nice.
So,
It's
um,
nice. Yeah,
yeah.
it's all good. But you know, Beth.
The average. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. What I'm just saying is that you again, like I was talking about the community. Do you have people like literally from like California? I mean, how many people actually show up and come to this event?
For about 100 people, I think we're going to have 105 this year that were committed that actually bought the tickets. They are expensive tickets, so they're about $200. But they also have to pay their airfare. Yeah, we have people come from California, Florida, Rhode Island, Alabama this year. I come from
Alabama?
Texas.
There's Yankee fans in Alabama?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, North Carolina, all over Florida. We have a couple coming from Florida, Michigan, that are signed up to come this year, that have paid, that are actually coming.
Wow.
Well, again, based on whether we do have a Yankee
Right, right.
game to attend, but yeah, they come from all over. Yankee Maniacs aren't just from the United States; they're from all over the world. And that's another thing we do. We have a posting in our clubhouse where we actually list every place where every maniac's
Wow.
from every country, every province in Canada, every state, and it's listed, broken down, and they're alphabetical in there. It's pretty cool. We also honor all our veterans too. We have a honor roll with the veterans, and we list their names, what branch of service they've been in or are in. We
Wow.
do a lot of things that
Yeah.
probably off the top of my head, but I'm not including.
But you know what? For
So
you viewers out there, listen. For you Facebook people out there, go to Pinstripe Mania, the group. If you're a diehard Yankee fan, and look how organized they are. Look what they do. Look how they support each other. I love it. I love what they do. It's good to see that they are true diehard fans. And you know how some Yankee fans say they're diehard fans, but they're not, because if you tell them who's the leadoff hitter of the Yankees, I'm like, you know what I mean? Beth, that's how I catch people when people say, oh yeah, I'm a diehard Yankee fan, this and that, especially Manhattan. Manhattan is not true New Yorkers. Maybe 2%. Manhattan, everybody's from everywhere. So guess what happens? When Yankees make October, all of a sudden there's a lot of hats, right? And I'm like, and I'm talking, like they go to my CrossFit gym or whoever, and I say, yeah, you Yankee fan? Oh, yeah, yeah. Who's the leadoff hitter? Well, how you say you're a Yankee fan, man? Who bats? You know what I mean? Who's the ace? Come on.
uh, we were in Texas for a Yankee game at the Ranger Stadium, and I'll never forget this, exactly in line with what you're speaking about. There was this guy, and he was sitting behind us, and he was going, "Yeah, I'm a big Yankees fan. Yeah, yeah, yeah." And I'm like, Jim and I are looking at him, and because he was blurting out such foolish things. So it's like the third inning, fourth inning, and he's yelling out, "Bring in Mariano! Bring in Mariano!" It was like the third or fourth inning, and Jim and I were going, "No, no, you real Yankees fan."
Well,
But there is another story.
if that was Terry Francona, he would do that because he did that with his Cleveland Indians, right? Remember, he brought our former right
to pitch, but
right.
but there is a good story I have to tell you that happened to my husband. He actually had tickets for the David Cohn Perfect Game,
Oh,
and back in the day when my husband was president of Schindler Elevator, which is based in New Jersey, in Morristown, New Jersey, and he was the president of North American Operations. So one of his amenities was that he got 4 box seats to the old Yankee Stadium for every game. So needless to say, with his position, he used to give a lot of tickets away to people. So he had to go out of town, and I was away too, and he came home to the answering machine, and there was this guy on the other line, and he was going, "Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you so much. I'll never forget what you did for me. Thank you so much." And Jim hadn't heard yet because he was tied up with business, of course, that it was the game that David Cohn had pitched, the perfect game, and he had given the tickets away. My husband was cried. My husband cried.
Well, he does.
So
He does
that's
have
a
a
true
beautiful
story.
heart. He has a beautiful heart, and you know what? Only 23, or is it 21 or 23 pitchers ever did that. Is that stuck in his head right now? That only 23 people, 23 pitchers ever did that in the big leagues. Perfect game.
Uh,
That means
missed the
nobody
opportunity.
touched first base, but they touched it when they were called out because they got a pass when they run. Right? That's about it.
Right. I mean, it's like the thrill of a lifetime to just even see a no hitter, but not let alone a perfect game. I've never done it. I've never seen it. So, and neither is Jim now, obviously. But have you
Now,
ever seen? Uh,
I see comments, guys. Bill Cognet, one of my favorite people. What date is August 4, 1985 in Yankee history? I don't know. I'm not good with dates. How about you? Let's see.
is
Oh,
that the day? I don't know.
now, uh,
I'm not a historian.
Jack,
I'm a fan. I'm not a historian,
right.
and
She's
I don't claim to be a historian.
so Jack Hoffman. I think this is pre-recorded. No, it's live actually. It is. Listen, I'm still new to this software. All right, I'm getting YouTube comments because this is right now. It's live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. All at three. All of them are live right now at the same time. But all I see is Jeanne Stewart, Milagros, Medina. They're commenting on
Millie,
YouTube.
that's Millie.
Millie.
Millie, you can just call her Millie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. So Bill says it was Phil Rizzuto Day. Bill, I'm not good with dates. Come on. Anyway, so what is the most? Have you ever been at a game that was a historic game that you were there and you were like, wow, I actually witnessed this? Now you could say you haven't. It's okay. I mean, it's timing.
Yeah, yeah. The day they retired Mickey Mantle, I think it was his retirement. I was young, so I remembered when basically he was going around in the car
Oh,
at Yankee Stadium. This is the old Yankee Stadium, obviously. That resonated because I remember being hoarse the next day. I couldn't talk because I had screamed and yelled so much.
mm,
That was
wow.
so. That was that was probably. I've never been to real historic games. I've only been to one All Star game. My husband Jim though has been to like 15 All Star games,
Wow.
um, but not with me though. So, but I've only been to one. And there is a funny story with that, and I have posted about that in the clubhouse. I always refer to it as the clubhouse,
Go
the
ahead.
Pinstripe Mania. Um, that I went to the Fan Fest
Mm,
for the All Star game, which is when the Royals were hosting, and they had this like full life size cardboard image at the Fan Fest of the Royals team, and they were all wearing their, of course, their Royals hats, and there was a guard. You could go. Royals fans were going up and getting their pictures taken with the team. The team. So I I waited in line patiently, and I had an extra Yankees cap in my bag, like I always carry.
mm,
I always have a couple of Yankees caps, and in my purse, and I carry a big oversized Yankees purse. So I went up, and my husband went to take my picture, and I got the guard all mad at me because I plopped a Yankees cap on one of the players, and I stood there with my Yankees cap, and I put my thumbs down, and he took my picture with the Royals fans, and the guard was like, "Move it along, move it along." He was yelling, kind of yelling at me, but I was just laughing and just I got great satisfaction for some reason. I don't know why, but it gave me great satisfaction just to say that I won up on for the Yankees. And unfortunately, that was the All Star game. I was really upset.
mm,
That was the game where they had booed Cano uh,
mm.
because he had refused to participate in the home run derby that year, and they were
Oh,
booing him. And Sabathia was there with his family, and they were booing him, and they even booed Derek Jeter. It was just because they were all
well,
mad
well, let me
and
tell you
taking it
something.
out on the Yankees.
Let me tell you
It was
something.
awful.
I was at the Anaheim All Star game. I think it was the year when Steinbrenner passed away. Okay, it was that. Yeah, it was that year. I forgot what year it was. 2009 or 10 or 11. And let me tell you something. There was like 7 Yankees. And when you hear, you know how they line up and the announcer, the public addresser from the New York Yankees, Derek Jeter, boo! From the New York Yankees, this guy, boo! Like, it was boos. And I'm like, that means we're in your head, baby. That means we're in your head. You love us. You can't live without the Yankees. We are the entertainers of baseball, baby. You know what I mean? That's what I believe in. You know, so, yeah,
That's
you're going to...
respect. That's respect. That's respect when they boo you. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I always think.
Yeah. They're just booing the person in the uniform. I guarantee they see Derek Jeter on the streets. They're not booing his ass.
Right.
You know?
That's one thing I am really anxious and curious to see how the fans are truly going to treat the Astros this year. That should be very interesting. Mm-hmm. Even I can't seem to find forgiveness like so many people are about this situation. I just think that they weren't punished enough. I really don't. I think
the MLB commissioner's weak. He's soft. He's not a man. Let me tell you something. If that was Giamatti, the one that banned Pete Rose, can you imagine what he would have done to these Houston Astros if he was still living? Oh my God. Mm-hmm. He'll probably ban the whole team, but like, you're not playing this year. Sorry.
Right.
You know?
And I speaking of Pete Rose, I think that is a situation to be readdressed. With all that certain players have gotten away with, and to think that this guy is still being not allowed to be in the greatest Hall of Fame for all his accomplishments. Yes, what he did was wrong, but I've seen other players that I think have done a lot worse. So right. I don't know. I just have bad feelings about that. I always thought he should have been allowed.
Right.
And my husband, I know, Jim, he's always speaking up about that. So what do you think?
Well, I think, here's the thing. You know what really hurts, Beth? You can't really suspend the players. I'll tell you why. Because throughout the year, you're a huge baseball fan. You know this. There's guys that come up from AAA for 2 weeks and they go down. You know what I mean? So it's not fair. What I think, you know what would really hurt? Take away that World Series title. Say sorry. That ring. That's the key. That's what I would do. If I was to come up like, you know what? That title is stripped. And guess what? If any of those ball players, Altuve or Springer, or who else is on there, Verlander, and they say, yeah, I got the World Series ring, an ordinary fan be like, well, you guys didn't earn it. You cheated, so it doesn't count. So it would hurt me more. If I was a ball player, if I was with the Houston Astros, and someone said, Eddie, I'm sorry, but your ring don't mean shit because the title was stripped away, that would hurt more than a suspension. Because the meaning of a rock is gone. You know what I mean? When you go and see these Yankees and sometimes former Yankees with the rock on their fingers, there's a meaning with that rock. I earned it, my team earned it, and we won it all. We were the last team standing. We were the ones that were pouring champagne, not just the beginning of October, not just the middle, but at the end. You know what I'm saying? Take that away from a Houston Astros team and say your title is stripped. I will guarantee that will crush their pulmonary artery and they have to probably go to a cardiologist to fix it because that will hurt more than a suspension. You know what I'm saying?
You're very descriptive.
Well, of course.
I love it. I totally agree. So, but anyways, I have, again, getting back to my administrators, I have a great team. And for some reason, we all seem to mesh. And some of them have been with me from the very beginning. And we just seem to all get along. And it's not just so much that, but they're all diehards and they all truly love the Yankees. And it's just so funny that they all have their personalities and they're from all over the country. And
I know that.
Can I give a shout out to a couple of them?
Give a shout out as much as you can, really, please. But hold on, before you shout out, everybody, whoever's watching, all I'm asking you guys, go to my YouTube page, subscribe to my channel. It doesn't take talent. Just go there. The Eddie Mata Show. There's a red button. Subscribe, all right? For the people that are watching, share this video right now on your page. You go to my page, share the video on your page. What is so hard about that, baby? You gotta love me, don't you? You guys love me or you hate me? Which one? I still love you if you hate me. It's all right. But go ahead. Who you want to give a shout out to?
No, just Millie, number one again. But Sandy Lopez has been with me, Patty Quintana, Doug Adams, for instance. Now, Doug Adams, he's in Nebraska. He lives in Nebraska. Sandy lives in Long Island. Patty she lives deep in the heart of Red Sox country. And she's actually married to a guy, Miguel, that is a diehard Red Sox fan. And I just don't know how they do it.
Oh, my God.
So it's really crazy. I lost your camera.
Oh, what do you mean? Can you see it now?
But anyways, no, I just see your picture. You're gone, but I can hear you.
Okay, well, you know what? It froze like yours. Maybe I'll be back. Well, listen.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take it from there. You answered all my questions. You said a lot about your community, which I love. I'm a huge fan. I will always follow you, Beth, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate all the hard work you put into this. Now, my man Bill, check this out, Bill. She lives in Wichita, Kansas. That's the crazy shit. I'm like, what? A diehard Yankee fan? Usually it's for people like gangsters hiding out. But I don't know, Beth. Are you involved? Or are you a Yankee mafia?
I'm surprised you haven't brought up the Wizard of Oz.
Oh.
This is Wizard of Oz country. Dorothy. That's the line I usually get.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah. And no, I'm not in the witness protection plan.
All right. All right. Well, listen, guys. I'm gonna, am I still frozen?
Yep.
Okay, so here's how we do it. I'm gonna end it. We have everything. Thank God I froze at the end. Do me a favor, guys. Go to Beth Cocca, her Facebook page. Also, Pinstripe Mania. It's a great group. If you're a diehard Yankee fan, get involved with these people. It's great. I see nothing but positive. The only thing negative, Houston Astros, Boston Red Sox, and a little bit about the New York Mets, but they're the junior varsity in our league, so they're not really a threat. But anyway, so Beth, thank you so much. I really appreciate what you've done and for being on my show.
Thank you, Eddie, for having me. And go Yankees.
Absolutely. Go Yankees. And remember, guys, subscribe to my channel. Share this interview everywhere. Millie, help me out in Puerto Rico. Jan, who else we got here? Oh, I got the YouTube comments. Millie, we got, hold on a minute. Who's on YouTube here? Yeah, just 2 people, which is fine with YouTube. Yeah, so please, guys, just subscribe. And, Beth, you're the best in the business. Keep it up, all right?
All right. Thank you, Eddie. Thanks for having me again. Bye-bye.
All right. We'll talk later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.